Now it's time to look at type abbreviations, and what they do is to help us annotate the code that we write to make it easier to read and understand. In order for us to see how this works, let's define one of these type abbreviations, and we do that using the keyword type, like this. After that, we would type the name of this, and we're going to call this size type here, and we're going to say that this is of type UN32, like so. Now what this tells us is it creates an alias size type, which actually points to the predefined type uint32 in F#. So we can define some variable with this size type, and that's going to be the same as if we wrote uint32 to begin with. That can make it a bit more clear to reference the kind of things that we're using in our code. To make that more concrete and more perhaps applicable to a real scenario, let's do the following type as well. So we would do complex number, like so. And we would say that this is float and float, like that. And the reason why this is quite useful is, let's say now we define a number, so let num, and we make this of complex number, like that. Then we can immediately define something like this. And that's going to make the code a whole lot easier to read, because seeing complex number like this is a lot more understandable, I would say, than having float and float as the signature here. So that already simplifies it a little bit. And we can do this for functions as well. So we can create a specific type that we refer to for particular functions and use that in the declaration of those. And the thing I would note here, and we're going to see that in the following example as well, is that these type abbreviations that we define, they are simply aliases. So we don't create a new type here. We don't have a new type called complex number. We simply have this abbreviation for float times float that we can refer to instead. So to see what I mean here, let's define something new. So we define a type addition function, and we're going to let this be int to int, like that. And if you recall, when we define functions, this is usually how a function that takes two integers and then returns an integer would be defined. So this will allow us to create a function f of type addition function, like so. And then we can write this inline in this way. So we create a function of a and b, and that returns just something simple. Let's say a plus b, like that. Okay, so this works. You can see that we don't get any compile errors. But what I want to highlight, there we go. What I want to highlight with this is if we start typing out something new, let a equals f, and then let's say we want to provide this some arguments here, or even earlier than that. When we just do this, you can see that F# gives us the integers here. It points to the integers as the sort of type declaration of this function. So when we say addition function here, we haven't created a new type that we are referencing. We are just creating an alias for whatever this is, so that when we read the code, as you know, someone new comes into the code base and wants to look at whatever we wrote, they're going to be able to make sense of this a bit easier than you would if you just have these sort of cryptic definitions here. So that's type abbreviations in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you in the next one.